Marvel Legend of the year, overhyped action figure of the year, or somewhere in between. Let's crack open the Marvel Legends series Secret Wars Daredevil. Hey YouTube, what goes on? And welcome back to Disavowed ActionFigures. Today bringing you another Marvel Legends action figure review, taking a closer look at the 2026 Marvel Legends series Secret Wars Daredevil action figure. Very excited to get this in hand. However, I must say there's some bones I have to pick with this. But before we get to that, if you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It is free for you, it does not cost you anything, and it helps us grow the channel tremendously to march to 9,000 subscribers. So we got a pretty good look at it on the rotating base. As far as the packaging is concerned, again, this is part of the Secret Wars line that they did start doing, I believe, last year in 2025. You get a pretty good look at the accessories in the packaging that comes along with the action figure. And then on the back, if you want to take a look at the bio, go ahead and pause it right now and take a look and take a read of what it has to say right there. Other than that, there's your cross-sell. Let's get this guy out of the plastic and the cardboard and see what he's all about. Because, like I said, could be figure of the year, could be way overhyped. And here's Daredevil out of the packaging and cards on the table. To be honest, I was critical of this since the moment it was announced. There's various reasons for that we'll talk about throughout this short action figure review. However, before even getting to that, I will add this. I am happy that there is a single carded Daredevil in the red suit that is available for collectors to get because, my gosh, it's hard to get a hold of one of these guys. The most recent ones that were released have just exploded in the aftermarket. Very valuable, very hard to get your hands on if you didn't get them from the beginning. And yeah, so one way or the other, despite its flaws, happy this is out there for all the collectors that needed a more traditional looking Daredevil. So let's start off by looking at the accessories, which is one of the things I complained about the most on Instagram. All right, so let's just get this out of the way. We don't need these. I understand why we have them. I get it's the gimmick. I get they're trying to give a perceived worth, that there's more in here with this thing. Who's actually going to display it with this? Be honest in the comments. Are you gonna, I'm not saying just display this. Maybe you'll put this on a shelf. I'm not. But with the figure, is he going to wear it on your shelf? I don't think so. So that's all we're going to talk about. And didn't the first wave come with like a Secret Wars paper copy to go with this? Maybe mine's still in the packaging and I missed it, but I don't know. Next, we do get, let's save the best for last. We do get this, which is, I think, the first time they've given us a power effect that will kind of clamp on or plug in to the back of the figure. We'll kind of compare that to other figures and kind of pop it in on him a little bit later on. We get the billy clubs, which are black with some silver paint. So the one cool thing I saw other reviewers talking about with this is that, of course, they detach, as you can see, and people would always complain that one of them would have that peg that was molded on. So the cool thing here is, if you want to pop this extra piece off, you can. Be careful, do not drop it into your carpeting, because it'll be gone in a split second. But yeah, this little connector piece is something relatively new or brand new. So that way, when you do display the billy clubs in his hands, or you put them in their little area there for storage, they look the same. You don't have that random little peg there. But if you want to put them together to have him use it as one big weapon, all you need to do is just peg it right back in and port that back in. Her little satisfying pop right there. And boom, there you go. So that's a pretty cool touch right there. It's a simple thing, but honestly, it's a cool thing. Now let's get to the thing that I was hot about on Instagram. I got spicy on this, and I got a lot of likes. People like spiciness. I can't be spicy all the time. It's not my style. But when they first, again, solicited this, if you take a look, coming with the default, we have two grabbing hands. Clearly grabbing hands, right? Here are the other two hands it comes with. We get, yay, a fist. Of course we get a fist. Daredevil basically punches people for a living. Well, he's a lawyer for a living, but he punches people as a vigilante, right? You need a fist. Well, the other fist is, there is no other fist. What? We get this like throwing hand to, I guess, throw the billy club, but like one fist with Daredevil makes no freaking sense. And people on Instagram, of course, oh, you're crybaby, who cares? These can look like punching hands as long as you pose it right. No. If we're going to get this nonsense, which again, I get why it's in there. If we're going to get this, they can afford to give us two fists with a character who primarily fights and punches bad guys as his thing. Okay, yeah, and this is cool. And let's just do it right away, because I don't want to forget later on. So this pops right in. It's like the longest accessory section ever. And that is cool. I think that's neat. I can't recall. I'm guessing other Daredevils have the hole in the back as well. So we'll take a look and see. But again, you can kind of move it around. Again, it's going to be great for figure photographers. I'm sure you can probably use this other action figures besides Daredevil if you wanted to in some capacity. But again, that's cool. I give them props for that. That's all right. But I cannot excuse the fist thing when we're getting these stupid shields, okay? All right, spiciness is over until we get to articulation. So taking a look at the figure itself, the buck that it's on, and just the aesthetics of it, okay? I do like the fact you can see the DD, I'll save my double D jokes for another day, better, okay? That was one gripe I had with my favorite Daredevil from the 3-pack, was that it was very, very hard to see the logo on his chest. The red Ds did not pop very much. Also, we do get like the black lines going around on the forearm, also down the boot, down the foot, and around the top of the boot. Yeah, so that's okay. I didn't really need it. I might even take that off with some nail polish remover. I'll think about it. But I didn't really need that. We get a little bit of silver here on the black belt, which looks okay. The head sculpt is Daredevil, you know. Should we have gotten a screaming head? Probably. They have it. It's already made. I don't know if it'll fit on this buck, but you think that it probably would. But they'll do that for maximum Daredevil. And by the way, I might say Deadpool at some point. I always screw that. I would say Deadpool instead of Daredevil and vice versa. So if I did, I apologize. But again, we're probably going to get a maximum that's going to have alternate heads and probably like a bendy wire to go with the billy clubs and better billy clubs. And that'll still be in there. And probably 2 fists for all the spicy people like me. One other cool touch with this, which was different than the other one, which we'll compare later, is I think that they did a better job of having this on him for storage. The other one kind of had like bigger like straps that were on here. This looks better, I guess. Aesthetically pleasing is the way to put it. Also, this guy's pretty jacked. I think what most people are probably watch this video is for comparisons. I know I watch most videos for comparisons. Most people are probably just saying shut up and just show their Daredevil with this already. We're getting there. Don't worry. But I do want to say that when we do compare them, you'll see this guy definitely has been taking his creatine or his vitamins or eating his vegetables or eating extra chicken, I don't know, whatever. He's hitting his protein because there's a lot more muscular features to this guy than the other one, predominantly in the ab area. Also, I have noticed, too, a lot more folds on the costume itself. You'll see a lot of folds here on the leg. It kind of bunches up here at the hips, bunches up there as well. Again, you'll see that throughout the figure. That's a nice touch. Even on the butt, you get a little bit of bunching up right there, in the back, on the sides. So that's realistic for, you know, what a dude wearing a suit would look like, as opposed to the other buck, which was much more smoothed out, which, again, to be fair, was being used with a lot of different characters. They probably didn't want to necessarily have that bunched up material. But yeah, it's cool looking. I like the fact we do get the black Ds. Not a huge fan of the black trim everywhere else, but it does look nice. It will look good on your shelf, especially if you don't have a red suited Daredevil. So, all right, let's do articulation really quickly, and then we'll do comparisons and get out of here and be done. All right, so right into articulation. That's one thing I did have a gripe with this from the beginning as well, which we'll talk about. But articulation head will go all the way around. We'll go down about that far. We'll look up about that far. You get a little bit, a very tiny little bit of tilt. Not much really at all. As far as the arms go, shoulder goes all the way around. It is on the butterfly joint, so across the middle, a little bit like that. As far as how far back it's going to go, very far back. That looks fine as well. As far as elbow, we have the double pinless elbow going on right there, which is very nice. The hand will rotate all the way around. It is on the, looks like a left to right hinge, or is it up and down? The up and down hinge. So it's on the up and down hinge right there, probably for the use of the batons. As far as legs are concerned, we have the upper thigh cut right there. Double jointed, pinless knee, as you can see. We do get the boot cut going on. Foot will go down, a little tight. About that far for the foot down. About that far up for the foot up. It's also on a rocker. If you wanted to see splits, there are your splits. As far as the torso is concerned, you can obviously go around right here. Also, it has the cut down below. So using the two together, he will look down pretty darn far. Remember, he's going to do some acrobatic crap, right? He's Daredevil. And then as far back, about that far back right there. As far as obviously there's no waist cut because it's cut up there. But as far as my complaints with this, two things, right? One, no drop down legs. Now, if you watch my reviews on my channel in the past, I'm not a huge fan of drop downs. I'm coming around to it now as I mess around more with them. I always think they're going to break. That's always I don't know why. Always a fear it's going to break. Never has. Always feel like it's going to. But they probably should have given it drop downs. And then also, no articulated toes. So the fact that we got another Daredevil that had articulated toes and drop downs on that buck, and basically we're sacrificing that to look beefier, I don't know if I like that. Now, this comes back to what I said earlier, which is we're probably going to get a maximum, right? We're probably going to get a maximum, which is going to be this one and the other one squished together. They'll probably give this guy toes because all the maximums have toes. I said earlier, probably like they'll have some sort of bendy wire to go along with the actual billy clubs. And they'll probably add in the articulation that we lost by drop downs and the toes and everything. But yeah, articulation, it is what it is. If you wanted to see how far forward you can kick, about that far forward. How far back? About that far back. Okay, we made it. Comparison time. All right, so I lied. I got another gripe with this thing. Should this happen? I don't think that should happen. I haven't seen that happen to other people, okay? I know I can just glue it in there. I had mentioned how it looked nice not having the straps, but I don't think that's just supposed to pop out that easily. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I haven't heard of that. I'm probably going to put that right in the thumbnail because people love that stuff, right? But that is not securely in there at all. Even if I apply pressure, it's barely staying in there. So that is a problem for me. That should not be happening, I don't think. I can't imagine they built that to come out that easily. So yeah, there's a gripe for me. I should not have an additional accessory coming off of this guy. Again, I know I can probably glue it. I can't even take it back because I destroyed the packaging, obviously. It's not collector friendly. So that is not cool. So already we're adding to the list of spiciness right here. All right, so that really cheeses me off. I can't imagine that's supposed to happen because I even tried putting the billy clubs in, falls right out. Yeah, can I glue it? Yeah, I should not have to. I didn't even mention this. I got this on Amazon, $29.99. I found it at Walmart the day after it came in for $27.99. But even at $27.99, that should not freaking happen. If I'm wrong and it's built to happen, let me know in the comments, but it can't even hold the billy clubs anymore. Nonsense. It's utter nonsense. So this is the one that I like the most, right? This is the one I said was my current favorite Daredevil, and after this is still my favorite Daredevil. This one looks great, don't get me wrong, but this one is still my favorite. Again, very hard to get, very expensive to get right now. Same with the VHS that came in the Hydro Man, Spider-Man animated 2-pack. But again, you can see, even with the light, very hard to see the red DD on here, but we do get the articulated toes, we get the drop-down hips, all that good stuff. So again, this is going to be my favorite, especially after this other one kind of went down on me. Also, there's not a hole in this figure, so you cannot use that other effect. I could not recall if that were the case. But looking at them closely, you can definitely see the red on this is much more vibrant. I do like the red, and I do like the logo better, but I still want this one and to be my collection, my main Daredevil. I would love to see this have a similar paint job to that. On this body would be fine. And again, we talked about how the holster, whatever you want to call it here, the storage for billy clubs, you can see they actually had straps attached to it. Here they went with whatever the peg system was, which is for wanting. But comparing the two, we'll just kind of have them face each other down here a little bit, because that's the thing most people I think want to see. I do feel this one is slightly taller. Also, it is beefier. You can see the muscular is much better. Also, we talked about the different folds. This one is more of a smooth look to it. Head sculpt also slightly better on that one. We're going to get a maximum down the road. Come on, it's going to happen at this point. But yeah, there's a comparison most people probably wanted. Here are some other comparisons, other Marvel Legends. Here is the Spider-Man 2099 from 2026. Here is the Captain America from the Secret Wars release last year, I believe. And here is the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure Wolverine, an oldie but a goodie. And for another Daredevil comparison, here is the Daredevil that came out a couple years ago when Elektra was dressing as Daredevil, and they were like a couple fighting the Fist or whatever it was. I don't know. It's a cool looking Daredevil, but there's a comparison of another Daredevil. Also, I sold the VHS one because I was either going to keep that one or the 3-pack one. I could not justify keeping both for what they were worth, so I went with the red. And I would think another comparison that most Daredevil fans would want to see, here is the new Secret Wars Daredevil as compared to the Kingpin Build-A-Figure, which to my opinion is still the best Kingpin that we have from Hasbro. And some non-Hasbro comparisons. Here is the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 E Honda and the DC Multiverse McFarlane Toys Big Bad Mother Fragger Lobo, which again, 7-inch scale, so it's going to be a lot bigger. And last, and as everybody loves to say, certainly not least, here is the 2026 Marvel Legends Secret Wars Daredevil as compared to the AEW unrivaled bad guy version in black of Orange Cassidy. And Orange, I hate to say it, this figure, despite me being excited originally, does not get the thumbs up. That's not how I turn it, is it? Does not get the thumbs up. It's going to get the thumbs down. So all kidding aside, I'm not going to give it a thumbs down, but this does affect my opinion. I'm guessing this has to be a QC issue, a quality control issue. I'll probably contact Hasbro. They've been good to me in the past. I had a misprinted Captain America Gamerverse head. The A was nowhere near where the paint mark was supposed to be. They couldn't give me a Captain America because they ran out of the 2-pack, but they gave me something else, whatever. I might reach out. Yeah, it's an easy fix, but I paid $20.99 or $27.99 if I would have got it at Walmart. This should not happen. I can't imagine this is meant to happen. Come on. If we're going to upcharge people, let's give them good quality figures. Again, the figure itself is cool. That's growing on me. The buck is okay, despite the fact there's some articulation I miss from the 3-pack version of that buck. Yeah, we should get 2 fists. Come on. And then I already complained. So this is much more negative of a review than I usually do. I came into this optimistic to really like this. I also do like the fact you get the little tiny piece here for the Billy Clubs. That's okay. But yeah, I know everybody's singing this thing's praises like it's the best action figure of the year. At least most of the reviews I've watched, people have been very up on this thing. And I get why. We don't get Daredevil too terribly often, especially as an update. But come on. Again, whatever. So again, if you watch my videos, I tend to be more positive. But I'm not going to lie. As soon as that thing popped off, it just changed my opinion of this thing for the negative. And it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm still glad to have it. We'll see if we can get some relief with what occurred here. So thanks for watching. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you, does not cost you anything, and helps us grow the channel tremendously to march to 9,000 subscribers. While you're at it, go ahead and click that bell for notifications, because that way YouTube should notify and tell you when we post new content here to the channel, like our weekly toy hunts, reviews, and live streams. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button. And for daily toy content and daily toy updates, try checking us out over at Instagram at Disavowed_12. Hey everybody, if you're going toy hunting this week, please try to remember the 3 Ps of the toy hunt: patience, persistence, most of all politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the peg.